What's going on, everybody? So, I'm making this upload to talk about illegal immigration. Not legal, illegal. And I'm going to sound off a bit. I'm going to talk about how I feel about it, why we shouldn't let them in, some of the common defenses people use for illegal immigration, and how I feel about those defenses. So, first thing I'm going to say about how I feel is I don't care if people come into the country. What I care about is that they come in legally. They come in the right way. I don't care if you're from Mexico, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, Asia, Australia. Hell, I don't even give a fuck if you're from Mars. If you want to come into America, you come to America the right way. We have an immigration system that's in place. Follow it. That's the only thing I ask if you're going to come into this country. Now, the next thing I got a problem with illegal immigration is these people are coming in illegally. They're taking our jobs, using up our health care, using up our resources, and doing more damage to the economy than they're helping. And they're going to end up turning the country into a shithole like the shitholes that they're running from. Okay? Period. Plain and simple on that. Now, I don't think we should be helping illegal immigrants and putting them before American citizens. I know on my channel I have criticized African American people and black people a lot. I know I've criticized them a hell of a lot, actually. But here's the thing, man. We have millions of black people in this country that are in poverty. And all of these resources that we're using to help these illegals, we could be using to help them. And not because they need it or because they deserve it, but because of the fact that they are American citizens. And we should be helping American citizens before we help non-citizens that aren't even here legally and can't even follow the law to come in. Period. Now, these illegals, a lot of them bring in guns illegally, bring in drugs illegally, they commit crimes here, they get deported, and then they come back illegally. The people that aren't doing all of that, they're making money illegally. A lot of them aren't paying taxes, and that's taking up the housing market. These people are taking money that they have, they're sending it back to their families in Mexico. That's taking money from the United States and giving it to other countries. And what can we do about it? We send them out and they come back. Because of Democrats' failed policies with border security and a wall. I think a wall might be necessary. I can agree with Trump about that because these people need to be stopped. Just like this caravan needs to be stopped. And the media may have went silent about it, but I'm not. Because we need to keep those people out. They are trying to break in illegally. They should not be getting in. Period. Now, one of the common defenses that is used, and I've noticed it's mainly Native Americans who bring this one up, but everybody likes to bring it up a lot too. But the natives are the ones that are the quickest to bring it up, and the natives are the ones that'll bring it up and stick by it the most, and won't listen to any logic. People will defend illegal immigration by saying, well, this is native land. Who are the whites to say who can come over here legally and illegally when they came over here illegally and took everything? My response to that, and this is what everyone should say in response to that, I think. That was over 500 years ago. The world was a much different place back then. Every race, every culture that exists on this world has had dark times and has had a dark history. Every single one. And because the times were different back then, there's been all kinds of great conquerors. Like, there's people that are known as great conquerors and everything else. And with the way the world was, conquering land was a pretty big deal, and people did it. And people were doing it all over the world. And it's unfortunate that it happened to the Native Americans the way that it did. Yes, there was some unethical tactics used, absolutely. But that was over 500 years ago. There's nothing that can be done about it now. They're not going to get the land back. Nothing's going to change. As a matter of fact, if you want to be technical about it, the Native Americans were on this land conquering other tribes and trying to take land from other tribes. So it's not like the whites came and did anything that the natives were not already doing themselves. So I can't give any credibility to defending illegal immigration with that, because times were different. Unlike those time periods when those things were happening, and unlike the time periods of conquerors like Genghis Khan and other great conquerors like Alexander the Great, Napoleon, the list goes on. Unlike those times, the world has changed. There are laws in place now. There are laws about who can come into the country legally, and there are laws about how to come into the country illegally. And if you're coming into the country illegally, the laws say that you are subject to deportation. Therefore, we should be following our laws. The laws state that if people come in illegally, they should be kept out. Plain and simple. The world's changed. And to anyone who wants to bring up that this country was built by African slaves and that this country was built by Chinese slavery and things like that, yeah, okay. Unfortunately, this is another situation where that's the way the world was at that time. Again, the world has changed a lot. And it was a different world then than it is now. But as for the African slaves, they were slaves before they came here. They were already slaves in Africa. The only thing that changed about slavery when they came to the West was the location. As a matter of fact, slaves got killed in the West also in the United States. But I guarantee you the slaves got treated better than they did in Africa. Guarantee you that, because I'm sure we've all seen how they are in Africa about killing each other and warring amongst each other. So I just wanted to make this upload to sound off about immigration. Long story short, this is not the world it was years ago. Stop using that to try to defend illegal immigration. If people want to come in, have them come in legally. Divisive Legend tuning out. Peace.